everybody, and welcome to patch 12.21 preview part 2. This patch is really small, so to not waste anyone's time, I'm not even going to do the intro or anything like that. We're just going to go right into it because I'm going to get this done in like 3 to 4 minutes probably. So without further ado, full patch preview for 12.21. Again, a pretty light patch as preseason is going to shake everything up. Sorry for the delay, super excited for preseason and Worlds this and next week. What's going on in this patch? Well, as I mentioned a lot, the Rumble buff was dropped, and the reason I always tell people to watch every video and look at every video is a lot of these changes get dropped, and that one was dropped, so Rumble's not being buffed anymore. Who is being buffed? Ahri. Why is Ahri being buffed? I'm assuming we can all speculate as to why Ahri is being buffed. She's being buffed because Riot wants to keep her top tier and viable as a top 5 pick at all points in time. When Riot said they were only going to buff fringe champions who are performing very poorly, evidently that meant buffing Ahri, who is just slightly the tiniest bit maybe underpowered. I'm not gonna, I mean, your Q mana cost is going down and its AP ratio is going up. I mean, it's a buff. It's not a really significant buff. It's a tiny buff. Yeah, it's about what Ahri needed. I just cannot for the life of me imagine, like, for any gameplay, like, ignoring that Ahri is like the fox girl that everybody loves and, you know, there's fan art of her everywhere. Ignoring that, I literally can't think of any reason why Ahri was singled out, leaving me with the only guess that yes, she was singled out because she's Ahri. Like, if anyone else can think of any other reason, be sure to leave a comment. Oh, and that reminds me, like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. All these things help me and I appreciate them all. But yeah, if any of you can think of a reason Ahri's being buffed that isn't just that she's Ahri, feel free, you know, prove me wrong. For me though, I've looked at the win rates and there's literally no reason Ahri got singled out as a buff here. Corki is performing extremely bad. Now here's the thing. When I look at this buff, I see this as a win rate buff. That means it's a buff meant to increase the win rate of a champion, not to enhance anything, not to make anything weaker. What they basically want is they look at Corki and they say, the damage of his abilities is fine, his gameplay is fine, we're cool with all that stuff, we just want his win rate to be higher. So they're giving him 4 AD per level and 0.3 AD per level. They don't really want to change anything. They don't really want to change his kill thresholds or anything like that. They just want him to win more games. It's a lazy buff, but these are often effective buffs. I mean, maybe like a 1 to 2% win rate increase, and I think that's probably what they're going for. I don't know. Malzahar will now execute minions below 14 to 45 health, depending on his level. So at level 1, it's 14. At level 11, it'll be 45, and then it'll stay 45 for the rest of the game. This is really just to help Malzahar, because last hitting is Malzahar, I'm sure as many of you know, is quite frustrating because, you know, your E's right about to tick someone to death, and then a minion auto attacks it and steals the kill off you. So this isn't really even a buff. It's more of like, I mean, it is a buff, right? Like, obviously, it does make him stronger, but it's kind of like a quality of life thing, right? Xin Zhao, his passive third hit is going from 15 to 45 to 15 to 60% total AD. So the further in the game you go, the more damage his third hit on his passive will do with a higher AD ratio, and that AD ratio also scales off his base AD because it'll be total AD, so he'll have more base damage as well. So they're trying to make him scale better. His passive healing AP ratio is also being buffed. I guess in case you get Baron or in case you want to build AP Master, or say AP Xin Zhao. At this point though, I don't think Xin Zhao will ever go back to AP, simply for no other reason than the fact that there's so much damage in the game that like everyone one-shots Xin Zhao late game anyway, right? It's like there's no time you're ever gonna sit there with like an AP funny haha Nash's tooth build like out healing people. That will never happen again. Now his E cooldown is going from 12 to 1 second. That means his dash will now be on a 1 second cooldown. I don't think they're typoing this at all. In fact, I think that's actually what they intend. I think they really intend not to have him have an 11-second cooldown on his dash. No. I think they 100% intended to be a 1 second cooldown. So of course, everyone for the next week asks me, why are they giving Xin Zhao a 1 second cooldown on his dash? Please, I won't be annoyed anytime you guys ask me, because there's no way to reasonably use any intelligence whatsoever to infer this is a typo. This very much must be 100% what they intended, okay? It has to be. They definitely intended to give him a no cooldown gap closer that he can spam every second. Riot is brilliant, and I 100% agree with this change. So Blitzcrank, he was able to jungle, and so he got nerfed, because obviously when you make a support able to give really good leashes and help his jungle. I know I keep mentioning this, but I like to keep reminding people, because I think it's important to kind of hammer home how stupid this is, okay? But they give a jungler the ability to give really good leashes, really good objectives, the ability to do jungle camps either for his jungler or with his AD carry a lot better. Obviously, making a support able to jungle doesn't just mean that they're only buffed when they jungle, they're buffed everywhere, okay? And so, obviously, it meant that Blitzcrank ended up being way too powerful. Now, how powerful? Very powerful. I'm not going to look up the win rate, but trust me, it's very high right now. So they're smashing his base HP, they're reducing his base HP by 18, and reducing his armor by 4. That makes him considerably squishier in the early game. The attack speed on his W is also going down by a flat 10%. Now there's no compensation for Jungle Blitzcrank here. So Jungle Blitzcrank is dead. They brought it in and then they killed it. I don't really know why they even bothered with this. All they did is break Blitzcrank, and now, like, I guess he's got a higher skill cap now, because now he needs to know to like try to do dragon, because he does a lot of damage to dragon, and maybe he can like give really good leashes to his jungler, but it just feels weird, right? Like, so now he's way weaker in lane, but now he's better at objective control. I guess it diversifies him and makes him like an interesting champion, I guess. I'm playing devil's advocate. I guess it makes him a nice, diverse, interesting champion, but I think most Blitzcrank players would have preferred they never touched Blitzcrank to begin with and just didn't do any of this. I can't think of any Blitzcrank player who's like, oh man, I want to be able to clear the jungle, but then also be way squishier and weaker in the laning phase. God, I wish that would happen. Yeah. Bel'Veth, okay, I read this and I felt like I wasted my time. I felt like I actually took 15 seconds out of my life to read this, and it was the most pointless time I ever used. So I'm gonna waste all your guys' time too. Bel'Veth is getting her E cooldown nerfed from 20 to 16 to 24 to 18. Wow, 4 more seconds nerf on her E cooldown. Except that's a typo. Actually, I had to look this up just to be sure. Her E cooldown is 22 to 16. So they're only giving her E, the long cooldown damage reduction, a 2-second longer cooldown. They're not nerfing it in any way. They're not nerfing its damage reduction. They're not nerfing its damage. They're not nerfing its lifesteal. They're not nerfing its ability to just kill you from half health or any shit like that. No. They're just nerfing its cooldown, because as everyone knows, she had to use it multiple times to kill you, right? So this is definitely a nerf that matters. And by typoing the initial cooldown to make it look like it's going up by 4 seconds cooldown when it's only going up by 2, for sure, definitely waste of my time. But you're saying, oh, but she's got a second nerf. Yeah, when she's in her ultimate, her Void Remore, the little minions things that she summons, they're gonna have less health. As I said, this was a waste of my time to read. This was a waste of all our time. We have all lost 1 minute of our day because we had to read this worthless nerf. Misfortune is being buffed, but AP Misfortune is being... AP Misfortune is being buffed, but AD Misfortune is being nerfed. The slow on her E, the Make It Rain, that ability flatline, the slow is going from 50% down to 40%, but the AP ratio is going up. At 500 AP it equalizes, above 500 HP it'll slow for more. Now her E is getting a damage ratio also buffed, from 100% AP over the duration to 120% AP over the duration. Then her ultimate is also getting its AP ratio buffed from 20% to 25%. I don't know why Riot is pushing AP Misfortune, maybe to have support Misfortune to be more valuable. I don't think people really enjoy having support Misfortune. I don't think they enjoy fighting them, and I don't think they enjoy having them on their team. So I'm not really sure why this is being pushed other than to just sort of annoy people. Okay, so that's his patch. Tune in a week, we'll go over the actual patch notes themselves, see if anyone is added, see if anyone is removed, and go over the final changes. Until then, yeah, this is a really small patch, and there's not really that much to talk about, so, oh well, you know, make sure to like, make sure to comment. Thank you all for being here. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Goodbye, everybody.